this meeting started. If everybody would stand, Commissioner Dana, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Would everybody rise and let's honor our great flag and our great nation. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner, is that what you lead us in a word of prayer?
Join me in prayer, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for the many blessings of this life, including the recent rains you've given to us. Guide this and all government bodies to make wise decisions for the citizens that they represent, and help us all to live our lives more closely following the example of your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioners. Miss Cindy, do we have a quorum this morning? Thank you. Approval of minutes. We get minutes from the July 28th commission meeting.
Yes.
Any changes or notes to it?
No. Not to my knowledge. I did read them. She did very well. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve minutes from our July 28th meeting.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Zell to approve the minutes from the July 28th, 2022 Chaves County Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Real quick, before we get into our agenda, Mike Espiritu's here. He's given us a good report on what he's got going on. Mike, would you come up and kind of tell us a couple of things on the J-tip stuff, just real brief, and just to let the commissioners know some of the things that you have in the mix for Chaves County.
Commissioners, always a wonderful day in Chaves County. Just a couple updates real quick. I know you have a busy morning. Last Friday, I testified for Dean Baldwin Aircraft Painting. You may have seen the email, you may not, but regardless, they were awarded the full amount of $160,012 for 25 new trainees, employees. Average wage is about $15, almost $16 an hour. So we look forward to their growth and their continued presence here in Roswell, Chaves County. We recently applied for and was awarded a grant with Excel Energy. It's a $20,000 matching grant. We plan to use those funds to help fund a Phase 1 environmental and a geotech study for a new mega site project at the Air Center. It won't be necessarily a certified site like we have in the past. It'll be more of a ready site to help it become more shovel ready for new opportunities. Update on Ascent Aviation. They're out there I was out there last Monday. They started to work already on the ground, so things are starting to move along. The agreement's already in place, and we should see that progress. We have weekly meetings with Ascent and the team, and I think so far we don't see any hiccups, which I'm pretty happy about. Before you is a copy of our annual meeting, and it's a little bit different from my normal report. It does have kind of a synopsis of the year. I will be sending to you via email through your team kind of a PowerPoint presentation of things we did last year, things we will be doing this year, just for your information, and happy always to answer any questions that you may have. Yesterday, we'll back up a little bit. A month or so ago, I applied for our economic development organization, the EDC, to become a certified economic development organization, EDO, with the state economic development department. That's a lot of words. I know. I apologize for the alphabet soup. It's a new program of the state, and with it helps us become a certified organization in New Mexico, which pushes out, I would suspect, above the others. I understand there's 14 applicants for the program. If we're successful, then we are also eligible for a grant award up to $40,000. I don't know what that'll be. The announcement will be sometime in September. Yesterday, we had a site visit, which was half the grading criteria. We had a number of people there, and thank you, Commissioner Cavan and Bill Williams, for being there. It's all about how we as a family can continue to work together in our community to make great things happen for the future of our citizens. So thank you for your presence there. I have selected a new website company to completely redesign our website. It's a company that only does economic development organization websites, which I just think is very important. That'll take about 6 months to roll out, but I think you'll see a complete change, and I hopefully our face to the world will become even more enhanced through that presence. Last week I was in Dexter, and
Thank you.
And I'd like to share with you, Commissioner Dana, a copy of a document that, if you get the opportunity, take a look at. The reason I was in Dexter at Town Hall was to help them with their 2022 comprehensive plan and strategic planning. So I was there with a small group of local citizens and their consultant to kind of work towards where that plan is. And although I don't live in Dexter like you do, Commissioner, it would be helpful for people like you that live there that were unable to make it, be part of the solution and provide some input. And it's a very brief, and I'll leave it with you, very brief document, and you can do it online. You don't have to call in or anything. So if you could do that, that would be great for that community. And lastly, in 2 weeks, we'll have the state JTIP folks here. They're going to visit all the JTIP companies. And going back through my records, you know, in Chaves County, we had 8 JTIP awards, probably the most of any county except for Bernalillo because of Albuquerque in the state of New Mexico. And I'm pretty happy about that because that means more funds are going to those companies that have located here, that are here with a presence, and they'll have more opportunities to create new jobs and be reimbursed for the training. So with that, that concludes this month's report for you. There you'll have also my report I sent via email. And Mac, thanks for that. I just apologize you got that a little bit late, but if you have any questions on any of that, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners.
Thanks, Mike. Commissioners, any questions for Mike?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say, Mike, I'm so sorry you lost a lot of people. If anybody's looking for a job, be sure.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, thank you. I think, it's a really tough time.
You trained them up well. You need to stop doing that. You're training them up well so they can grow and do marvelous things.
I think so. I do have a interview today.
Good.
So for another person, and then one hopefully next week, and we'll do what we can. But thank you very much. Yeah.
Like I said, you trained them up well. So.
Thank you.
And thank you for the update. I did read it. I do. Looks like some great things happening, and that's exciting too. Like you said, the JTIP people coming. It's kind of nice because they can. Everybody wants to throw money out there. Gosh, we got a lot of money that we can throw out there, but you never see results. And so I think for them to come and see the results of what, they're more apt to invest if they see some results. So I think that's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you for keeping us involved too.
Absolutely. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Dana, we also went out I took the team out yesterday to Pecos Valley Productions.
Yes.
I know you've been there, and I've been there, seems like I've been there a lot recently, and so we were out there with the team, the site visit yesterday out there, and the JTIP team will be out there. I'll be out there with them as well in a couple of weeks. And I think you're right. I think it's so important that the folks from Santa Fe have a good picture of what's happening in Chaves County. And as long as they do that, then they can be better supporters of our needs and our concerns and our vision for the future. So thank you for that.
Commissioners, anything else? Commissioner Bilberry, you have anything to add to the discussion?
No, sir, but I just want to tell Mike thank you. I know you work hard and you represent us well, and appreciate all that you do.
Thank you, sir.
Mike, I'll just close, and as Mayor Jennings would say, JTIP and all these other deals, it's all about jobs. jobs, and we gotta get that workforce up, and you're doing a great job helping with that and working with that, you and Bud Kunkel. The CTE programs that you're putting together for the high schools and what Sean Powell and the Eastern New Mexico University of Roswell are doing is making a huge difference for this community and for Southeast New Mexico, so you're greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I apologize, but I need to add one last thing to my report, just to make you aware of what we're doing. It's pretty exciting. I don't know that I put it in my written report, so let me share it to you verbally if I may. So I'll be brief. Recently, we partnered with Job Corps, and as you know, we have a Job Corps presence here in Roswell at the Air Center area. And it's happened about a month and a half ago. What we've done is we partnered with not only Job Corps, but with local aviation industries at the Air Center. And as you know, workforce is a real challenge. You may have read in yesterday's newspaper that Lisa Dunlap wrote about the AMT program at the university, and which was a very nice article, especially the point that they're going to have 40 students in their next cohort. That's a big deal because they've gone from 20 to 40 students. But the Job Corps piece is all about partnering with Job Corps to bring students to the AMT program at the university. The program are seeking to do is through the Department of Labor from a federal level is have a advanced aircraft maintenance technician program at the university here in Roswell that will bring students from all 123 Job Corps sites across the country. And that's a big deal. We'll be the location for all those Job Corps students to come here to get that advanced training and enter the fields in aviation, especially to help the companies like Ascent and others that need staffing. If we're successful, which I think we will be, and we'll know probably within the next 60 or 90 days, because you know how the federal government takes a little bit of time to do things. But it'll pay completely for the students' lodging, travel, stipend. I mean, it's complete. And so there'll be no out-of-pocket expense to those students that will be coming here from Job Corps around the country. Pretty exciting. My only concern is they'll create a bow wave of need for more instructors, but that's okay. I think that's a good problem to have. But I think that we can easily accommodate them with the equipment and resources we have at the university, because it is a great, robust program. And as you know, we're only one of two in the state, us in Albuquerque at C&M. So it's pretty exciting to bring that many potential students to Chaves County and hopefully keep them here, because we'll move them to the companies as an apprenticeship, and they'll actually get their feet wet and actually work with some of these local companies, and I'm hopeful they'll stay. And so I just want to share that with you. It's pretty exciting. I'll keep you posted as that progresses.
Mr. Chairman, I do have one more. Mike, I was talking to somebody this last week about our nurses shortage and doctor shortage. I think you're working with the hospitals too and Eastern. Is that my understanding about trying to also implement some kind of program to where we can keep them here once they go through the programs? Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, that's correct. Eastern, as you may or may not know, they have worked diligently to increase the number of students in the program. We have, with Eastern, for example, New Mexico Medical Center, they're anxious to work with the university and that program, and they have already. They have been, and they will continue to do so. So, yes, there's a nursing shortage that has a definite need, especially here. And I believe that program at the university is really going to help create that staffing shortage need at our local regional hospital.
And my understanding, I was talking to a nurse the other day. I had to take my neighbor in for some outpatient surgery. She said she participated in the rural nursing program. And she grew up here, but it was nice because she was able to come back here. And it was kind of like the WICHE program, the loan forgiveness program. Mm-hmm. She said, though, she really had to fight for it. That's one thing I think the hospitals and the clinics and stuff can do is kind of help some of these students if they partner with them to let them know about these programs.
Absolutely. And as a side note, and I agree, I think they're eager and willing to listen and find solutions, the hospital, that is. But on another note, tied to medical, in Hagerman, I've been working with the hospital, with Eastern, about we're having preliminary discussions about having a medical presence in Hagerman as well. I know that we do in Dexter, and primarily I think a lot of the folks go to Dexter for their healthcare needs, but if they can have their own presence in Hagerman as well, they'll help really lift up that community and their needs.
Yeah,
So,
we've
but
been working
we're
on
talking
for
about that.
years. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes,
Thanks,
ma'am.
Mike. Appreciate
you.
everything you're doing for our community.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Agenda item 1, Ms. Georgiana.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This morning, we're asking for ratification of approval for Agreement A22006. It's an agreement between the State of New Mexico Finance and Administration Office and Chaves County for appropriation 22G2770 in the amount of $250,000. This funding is going to be used for the ongoing project involving the window replacement in the historic courthouse. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Georgiana?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a comment. I have seen the creative ways that people have come up with the old windows that have been taken out. Thank you, Bill. I really appreciate those not going into the landfill or just thrown away and stuff. Some people are so creative. They come up with some beautiful things. So this is wonderful. So we have more coming. Is that correct?
We will have more coming, and we will put those up on auction as well when they're
Okay.
available.
Good, good. Thank you.
And they will come with a certificate of authenticity.
No, I think that's wonderful. I know someone who framed hers.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Taylor.
I move for ratification of Agreement A22-006 between Chaves County and the State of New Mexico Finance and Administration for appropriation of 22-G2770 in the amount of $250,000.
I have a motion by Commissioner Taylor and a second by Commissioner Ezell to approve agenda item 1, ratification of agreement A-22-006 between Chaves County and the State of New Mexico Finance and Administration for appropriation 22-G2770 in the amount of $250,000. Any further questions or discussions on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. I think you have the next one, too.
Yes, sir. We're requesting ratification of approval for Agreement A22007, which is an agreement between the State of New Mexico Finance and Administration and Chaves County for appropriation 22G2771 in the amount of $50,000. This $50,000 is for the work that's ongoing in the Pecos Valley Regional Communications Center project. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions on this one?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve agreement A-22-007 between the State of New Mexico Finance and Administration and Chaves County for appropriation 22-G2771 in the amount of $50,000.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Ezell to approve agenda item 2, which is ratification of agreement A-22-007 between Chaves County and the State of New Mexico Finance and Administration for appropriation 22-G2771 in the amount of $50,000. Any further questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We got you, Jeff. Passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Georgiana.
Commissioners.
Thank you for everything you do for us.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
very welcome.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 3 is for Agreement A-22035 between Chaves County and the Southeastern New Mexico Economic Development District. This is a lease agreement for office space located at the Pecos Valley Medical Complex at 1600 Southeast Main Street, Suite D1. The Southeastern New Mexico Economic Development District has leased this space for 9 years. This is our standard lease. It's for a term of 1 year with an option to extend for 3 additional years. Staff recommends approval of the agreement A-22-035.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill on this?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept Agreement A-22-035 between Chaves County and the Southeastern New Mexico Economic Development District lease.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Dana, a second by Commissioner Zell to approve Agenda Item 3, the Agreement A-22-035 between Chaves County and the Southeastern New Mexico Economic Development District for their lease. Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Is Ms. Sharp? Oh, there she is. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item number 4 is Resolution R-22-047, authorizing suspending the minimum penalty requirements of the property tax code. This resolution would suspend the minimum penalty requirements of the property tax code, Section 738050, NMSA 1978, which states, quote, if property taxes become delinquent, a penalty of 1% of the delinquent taxes for each month or any portion of a month that remain unpaid shall be imposed, but the total penalty shall not exceed 5% of the delinquent taxes, except that when the penalty determined under the foregoing provisions of this subsection is less than $5, the penalty to be imposed shall be $5. Based on the exceptionally high rate of property tax collections, it is felt that a minimum $5 penalty is unnecessary. The property tax collection average for the prior 10 years is 99.28% as of June 30th, 2022. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Charlotte?
We routinely do this, don't we?
This is the one that Commissioner Corn used to always vote against.
Right, that's what I thought. I didn't say we routinely unanimously.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, yes, that this is the one that I bring up every year.
Great. Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept Resolution R-22-047, authorizing suspending the minimum penalty requirements of the property tax code.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Taylor to approve Agenda Item 4, which is Resolution R-22-047, authorizing suspending the minimum penalty requirements of the property tax code. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, if I may, I do have to get back to my office, but I did just want to report to the commissioners that the Chaves County Treasurer's Office will be hosting a statewide treasurers convention next week. I'm not sure if you saw that in the paper.
Awesome.
We do have 22 counties that will be attending in addition to state agencies. And I just want to extend an invitation to the commission if they'd like to join in for any part of that 4-day session. It does begin Tuesday at 1 p.m. and concludes at 11:30 on Friday. We do have about 15 presenters coming in to discuss various topics, and we think it's going to be really good for the state treasurer's office, county treasurer's office. So I'd like to extend that. We do have some evening events, and Bill Williams and Commissioner Chairman have agreed to come in and help welcome our attendees. And we have a full schedule, so, I would be happy to share that, but I do want to extend that invitation if you'd like to join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Charlotte.
The convention will be held at the convention center, and it does, like I said, it is a 4-day conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 5 is for Resolution R-22048. It's for approving changes to the personnel chart. As y'all are aware, our Planning and Zoning Department lost our building electrical inspector. Sort of lost him. He went to flood control to become the deputy or assistant flood control superintendent, so we can keep that department doing as well as it has done over the past decades. But because Brian inspected both electrical and building inspections, that's a kind of a unique inspector. And the Planning and Zoning Department's in need of an electrical inspector, code enforcement officer. This was discussed with the Finance Committee on August 10, 2022. They agreed that continuing to provide electrical inspection services to our community was very important, and that they would recommend funding this position if it was approved by the full Board of Commissioners. We have extended an offer to an individual to be a building inspector, and we understand that there are a couple of people who would qualify. Not only do we have to accept them, but the state also has to accept them and their credentials in order to become any kind of an inspector for construction industries. We have 2 individuals, it sounds like at least, that are former electricians that would be interested in this. So we would be able to continue to provide these services to our county, and they're very valuable services. So staff recommends approval of Resolution R-22048. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill on this item?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say thank you, Bill. I had some people calling me panicking over this, and we resolved it for now.
Yes.
And I really appreciate your help with that. They were very impressed that you called, that you talked to them, because they were in panic mode. And
Yes.
I really, really appreciate
And that
you
also
calling.
includes the state was also in panic mode. We followed the procedures that are required by statute to inform them that they may be taking over our jurisdictional duties for a temporary period, and they didn't like that very much. Anyway, we had a heart-to-heart and discussed ways we could make it work, and we came up with some good solutions, I believe. So,
Thank you, and I hope we
Thank
can
you.
fill that.
Well, and
need.
I would say to the state being concerned about us, it's the fact that they're having a hard time finding people to hire for these positions also, correct?
that was one of the points that came up. They said, we have so many vacancies in the state for electrical and building and mechanical inspectors, and we just can't take on any additional, and Chaves County would really hurt us, especially in the electrical environment, because we just can't hire inspectors. That's okay. You're hiring from Albuquerque and Las Cruces. Now put yourself in our shoes here in Roswell, and knowing that we have to deal with you and make sure everyone meets your qualifications, and so you need to work with us, and we'll work through it. And ultimately, we quit yelling at each other, and we got through things.
Well, I appreciate your help with that, because like I said, we had some people in panic mode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Zell,
I move approval of Resolution R-22048, approving the changes to the personnel chart.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Zell, a second by Commissioner Dana, to approve Agenda Item 5, Resolution R-22-048, approving changes to the personnel chart. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Miss Cindy.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. With voting right around the corner, the Commission has a statutory requirement to create an absent voter precinct and designate the polling place. Resolution R22049 designates the absent voter precinct and polling place as the Chaves County Clerk's Office at number 1 St. Mary's Place in Roswell, New Mexico, and staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Cindy on this item?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Resolution R-22-049, creation of absent voter precinct, designation of absent voter precinct polling place, and hours on Election Day and subsequent days.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Taylor to approve Agenda Item 6, Resolution R-22-049, creation of an absent voter precinct, designation of absent voter precinct polling place, and hours on Election Day and subsequent days. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Mr.
Okay,
Chairman,
you don't look like
Commissioners.
Sandra, but you're going to take this one.
Well, unfortunately, fortunately for Sandra, unfortunately for the county, Sandra is going to be starting a new chapter in her life. She's going to go to work for a local entity, and we really encourage her and have been very thankful that she's been with us for so long and done such a good job in procurement. She happens to be off today, so we can't thank her in person. She might have done that by design. She wants to stay kind of behind the radar, but she's done a great job for the county. ITB 22-2 is for Vector Chemical purchase. The county has received bids from the following bidders under ITB 22-2 for Vector Chemicals. The staff has compared and evaluated bids on all items and recommends award be made to both vendors, Site One Landscape Supply and Target Specialty Products, as set forth in the attached bid tabulation spreadsheet. The main difference between the two bids, Target Specialties was able to provide pricing for all of the pesticides that we use for mosquito control in the county, and they were unable to provide for the herbicide Roundup for weed control in certain areas in the county. Site One Landscape Supply was able to provide that. That's why we're recommending that this go to both vendors. Award of this bid will constitute a price agreement against which orders will be placed as needed. The first term will be for a period of 1 year with the option to renew for up to 3 additional one-year terms, and staff would recommend approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Bill on this?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve ITB-22-2 Vector Chemical and award the bids to vendors Site One Landscape Supply and Target Specialty Products.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Taylor to approve Agenda Item 7, ITB 22-2 for Vector Chemicals to both. I'm trying to see where the company's names are on here.
Site One Landscape
Site One
Supply
Landscape
and
Supply
Target
and
Specialty.
Target Specialty Products. Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes 5-0 unanimously. Make sure you have a conversation with Mr. Manette on
Yes.
this. He's the mosquito.
He's worked with us for the last couple of years, I believe it was. We've, because of his influence, we were able to reach out to New Mexico State and get some additional input from entomologists and people who do this for a living and understand what entomology means,
Right.
like me, who just can say it.
Yeah, well, as long as he knows that we're working on it. Anyway, thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Mac Rogers, come on down.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Agenda item number 8, Brenda Water Cooperative is requesting a waiver of permit fees for road excavations to repair water lines. Permit number 2476 in the amount of $1,850 is located at the intersection of Meadowbrook and East McGaffey. Permit number 2482 in the amount of $1,850 is located along East 17th Street near Fowler Road. A provision of Ordinance 44 allows for this board to waive fees associated with right-of-way excavations. Our road department has inspected the repairs for this request, and staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Mac on this?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the waiver of right-of-way fees for Barindo Water Cooperative.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dana and a second by Commissioner Bilberry to approve Agenda Item 8, which is a waiver of right-of-way fees for Barindo Water Cooperative. Any other questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Lewis, agenda item number 9.
Last but not least. Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. The Planning and Zoning Department is requesting the reappointment of the 3 county representatives currently serving on the Roswell Chavez County Extraterritorial Zoning Commission for another term of 1 year. They are Royce Pancho Maples, Rita Kane Dorhofer, and Michael C. Lackey. Staff recommends approval.
Commissioners, any questions for Lewis?
Mr. Chairman, Lewis, they all agree. They're
Yes.
okay with being on this.
I had to
This
twist
wonderful
Rita's arm a
committee.
little bit. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, I move that we approve the appointments to the Roswell Chavez County ETZ Commission, Royce Pancho Maples, Rita Kane Dorhofer, and Michael C. Lackey.
Second.
And a motion by Commissioner Dana, a second by Commissioner Zell, for Agenda Item 9, the appointments to the Roswell Chavez County Extraterritorial Zoning Commission. Those would be another year appointment by or for Royce Pancho Maples, Rita Kane Dorhofer, and Michael C. Lackey. Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. I appreciate them stepping up to take on that endeavor. All right, approval of checks. Who's spending money today?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Taylor.
I move approval of checks in the amount of $1,905,961.78.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Taylor and a second by Commissioner Dana for the approval of checks in the amount of $1,905,961.78. Any other questions or discussion on these checks? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Approval of reports.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
I
Chairman.
move we approve reports. Jeff, you can have the second.
I'll just trying to get on the record.
Yes,
I recommend approval for reports.
Go
you're
ahead.
there. Okay, we've got Commissioner Bilberry making the motion and Commissioner Dana seconding for the approval of reports. Any other questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. All right, thank you. All right, we're at unscheduled communications, which are limited to 3 minutes per visitor and not to exceed 15 minutes. No formal action is taken by the commission. For those that are speaking, if you guys would, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. So.
Hello, Commissioners and Chairman. My name is Bonnie Brainerd. I'm here today to speak about voter integrity. I have just 3 things to tell you.
Would you
yes,
state your address for the record?
Oh, 1012 North Lee, Roswell, 88201.
Thank you.
Number one, as you are well aware, Chaves County was pulled for a risk limiting audit back in the general presidential election. Our county clerk ran through, I think, 27, 29 ballots, and it flipped a vote. You guys even reported it to the FBI. Nothing was done. Second thing that happened was the race after the presidential 2020 election was the school board elections. At that point, our clerk ran through, I think, 24 ballots to test the machines, and she was doing it succinctly, all of them, and she'd do 24, 24, 24, and then it hit one and it was 25 ballots. And what had happened was a general from the presidential election, the ballot had been stuck in the machine. They pulled that out and inadvertently, not knowing that it was in there, ran it through the next machine. That's human error. We have a stellar county clerk with a stellar office. That happens. But what isn't acceptable is that machine did not send off warning bells and sounds that said, hold the phone, there's something wrong here. It ran through, you remember the presidential ballot. It was front and back. The school board was what, two items on it? And what's even worse is it counted a vote. How the hell did that happen? Boggles the mind. The machines are bad. The third thing I have to bring up is if you've been to our county clerk's office recently, there are boxes of those primary, or we all got one, voter registration informations. There are boxes of them that have come back undeliverable. I am betting if you looked at those and you ran the test, I'll bet you dollars to donuts that part of those people voted. And I bet they voted absentee, which brings the question, how did they get the ballot if that is an invalid address? We have a problem with these machines. We do not have a problem in our county clerk. We do not have a problem with you guys. We have a problem with the machines. They need to be done away with like Otero County did. We need to stand with Otero County. You guys, the barbarians are at the gate. We need to close the gate. We need to be able to tell our children and our grandchildren, we tried, we did something, we stood up and we said no. These things are bad. We need to do something. And this is just the low-hanging fruit that I pulled to talk to about today. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Susan Lynn Nelden. I live at 2102 East Berendo, and I have the same issue, a problem with the voting machines. Currently, the Secretary of State has provided certification of the Dominion voting systems suite version 5.4. The certification date is August 24, 2017. Secretary of State has certified the automated election systems auto vote ballot printing system, and that certification is December the 1st, 2011. The election code, section 1.9.1 NMSA, requires the Secretary of State to maintain a list of certified voting system, field testings, and evaluation reports, and give access to the public on her website. I've been to her website, and those are the only documents that are listed that are certified. Section 1-9-7.4A NMSA is the law that requires each voting system certified for use in the state to be reviewed. It's a shall be reviewed for recertification by the Secretary of State during the year following the presidential election. The tests and inspections conducted shall be no later than June 1st to follow the procedure in Section 1-914 NMSA. Currently, the Secretary of State has failed to comply with the law. And with her failure to comply with the law, the Voting Systems Certification Committee has violated their law because they're not receiving any reports. So for them to ask the county commissioners to accept the results for the 2022 election in November of this year, you can't certify the election if the machines have not been certified. And I would propose that you pass a resolution that states, because we have no certified machines in the county of in the county of Chavez, that a hand count of any votes will be considered the method to certify the 2022 election. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Commission, thank you for having me. My name is Tracy De La Rosa, and I live at 3003 North Garden here in Roswell, New Mexico. And I'm here also about the machines. I was lucky enough to be an election official this year in the primary, and I was able to see the amazing job our county clerk has done. But voter integrity, the confidence in the vote, according to the latest Rasmussen poll, is only 58% don't trust the vote. We've seen evidence coming out of Otero County. There's a 500-page report that we have showing the canvassing and the results of that canvassing, which I did help with. There's discrepancies in the Dominion machines, and there's proof that they do have 4G capability even in the tabulation systems. We can't let people not be confident in this vote. They don't trust it. I campaign every single day. People tell me constantly, I can register people to vote, and they said they're not even going to bother because they don't trust it. That's not fair to our clerk. We're not protecting her. We're not protecting every single person in that office, and you have the power legally to do that right now before a law is passed or before the machines are certified. Jim Townsend, state representative, sent a letter to Maggie Toulouse Oliver on July 23rd stating and questioning these are not legally certified machines. Voter confidence is gone. And unless we do something like get a hand count going like France does and we be transparent fully, voters will not register to vote and they won't continue to vote. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Kathy Crossley. I live at 4700 Zuni Avenue. And I just want to reiterate that this is not a partisan thing. It's not Republican, Democrat, whatever. It is voter integrity. And I don't know if y'all know it, but our machines actually have the capability of filling out a ballot. Say seeing impaired person comes in, the machine can fill out the ballot for them. You cannot tell the difference between whether they hand filled it out or whether the machine did it. And what bothers me is that I also worked the election. I was a primary judge, precinct judge. And I had a lady ask me if she had to put in a vote, if she had to fill out a 0, if she didn't want to. And I said, no, you do not. Well, the machine has the capability to fill that in. So say in the 2020 election, you didn't like either one running and you left it blank. Who's to say that the machine didn't fill it in? Is this a smoking gun? Does it say something's wrong? No, but until we prove it, the people aren't going to trust it. So we have to prove that these machines can be trusted, and that hasn't been done. So I would urge you, please, let's do a complete hand count, compare it with the machine. Let's follow Otero, get rid of the machines. Thank you. Appreciate.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ryan Pirtle. I live at 30-6 East McAfee Street, Roswell, New Mexico. Just to kind of piggyback on what some of the points were made earlier. I'm 43 years old. I've been voting in elections since I was 18. I haven't missed a primary. I haven't missed a general. Excuse me. But I did not vote in the last primary election because of I've lost all confidence in the machines. And I am debating whether or not I'll even vote in the next election because just like was mentioned before, what's the point? I want to ask the commission real quickly, are y'all aware of what's going on with Otero County? Can I get a yes or no?
Yes.
We have.
Is it possible that you guys would consider doing what Otero has done? Is that even on your guys' radar? What information do you guys need to put that on your radar? Hello?
Well, I think we're getting that right now.
Perfect. Because we have come into some information. There's a gentleman, David Clements, lives in Las Cruces, and he's been doing a lot of good work nationally and in Otero County. Would you guys like to be presented with some of his information? Do you guys know who David Clements is?
I do.
Yes.
Have y'all reviewed any of his information thus far?
I have.
Does it concern you at all? I'm not asking for what I'm asking is, does it at all put a level of question in your mind as to whether our voting system is broken or not?
I would say to the comment that we rely a lot on our county clerk to help us make these types of decisions when it comes down to it. And we appreciate you guys being here. But you're asking us questions now, and we're really not going to answer anything else.
What could we do to get that, get a meeting or something where you guys would have a conversation about it, where we can discuss what we know or what we've been exposed to and what you guys have been exposed to, and what are the options? What is the power that this commission holds that we can make changes? I can't make changes in the general election. I can't make changes in the state election, but I can influence what happens in my county. Okay? And Otero has exposed the rubber stamp that commissioners have become. Because unless I'm misunderstanding, Otero County decided to not certify, and the state said you have to certify. It's a yes or no question, but the answer is yes. So they've basically neutered the commission and the counties. And I want to give the counties back their power. And the only way we can get it back is if people like yourselves, lesser magistrates, stand in the gap for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Got time for one more. Anybody else?
Well, I'm definitely changing topics, but I'm Drew Garnett. I am the Chaves County Extension Agent. I just wanted to give an update on what we've done this month a little bit. So right now is pecan weevil season. So we recently hosted an event giving away the free pecan weevil traps that NMDA had for them. We did have your daughter showed up looking for a trap. Mr. Williams showed up looking for a trap. Unfortunately, if you weren't there in the first 27 minutes, we were out of traps. So we had over 105 traps that we gave away really quickly, and I think it was a great part that the Daily Record put it on the front page that morning of the event. So that was a big help to us, and we're very appreciative of that. And so we got a lot of information out. We had over 130 people come to the event that day looking for traps. Obviously, not all of them got a trap. However, we are hosting a couple upcoming workshops on how to make these traps. So hopefully we can protect the county a little bit more from this pecan weevil and from the spread. As you may have heard in the news, it is spreading into Otero County, and there are going to be some meetings with NMDA that they're going to be hosting on Zoom coming up, and also one in Artesia. I believe that one's on Monday the 29th. And so it is important that we get ahead of this. NMDA has been saying for a long time that it is in homeowners' backyards more often than producers' orchards. And so we're hoping to find it in those locations, which was the whole purpose of the event. And so we were excited about the turnout and the amount of people that showed up. Other things, if anybody's looking for CEUs, September 8th, NMDA is hosting some in Hobbs, New Mexico. For us, it's looking like November 3rd is going to be the date that we're going to have CEUs here. So if you need those for your applicator's license, just give us a shout for more information.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, Bill Williams, you're up.
Have any online, or do you want to?
Well, oh, is there anybody, well, we're out of 15
Okay.
minutes, but there's not anybody. I'm surprised Rita's not chiming in, but, no, well, she missed her opportunity. Bill Williams, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, as always, anytime the public comes to our meetings, I really enjoy seeing it. I really enjoy hearing other points of view, and the things that were brought up today were very important to our entire community, and thank you, all you people that showed up today for that purpose. Also, thank you, Drew. Sorry I didn't get a trap, but I look forward to learning how to make them. Maybe I'll have a roadside stand and see if I can sell out. Want to thank Diane Taylor. She put together a tour of Pecos Valley production. I've seen pot like twice in my life, and then I went out there and I was just shocked at all the different things. I thought that, all you could do is brownies and smoke it, and I don't know. There's hundreds of products. I mean, there's lip gloss and powder to put on your hair, and you name it. They had multiple brands of cigarettes out there even, and the way that they do it, it's just, for a hick like me, it was pretty eye-opening. I was just really shocked. It's quite an industry, and Diane did a good job trying to make sure that everyone understood how it fits within our community. Whether you agree with it or not, it's here, and they've done a great job out there building it into an industry and filling a gap that is getting harder and harder to do. As Mr. Pirtle knows, dairy business is getting harder and harder to do, and they were able to convert a dairy into something. Not that my personal opinion would be to grow anymore, but anyway, it does provide something. Otero County Detention Center, because of staffing, they ended up, I think it was 3 weeks ago now, they ended up closing and sending all of their inmates out across the state. They reached out to us and other counties and asked if we could house any inmates. Sandoval County immediately said, oh yeah, we have a few beds, how many do you need? And they said at least 155. I think they ended up sending out 183 of their people to other detention centers across the state. Immediately, New Mexico counties asked everyone for an update. We've been working on this for a while about how many staffing vacancies each of the counties had. My response when Otero called was, well, we can't house them because we're in the same boat you're in, and the same thing could happen to us at any moment. I understand that there's another county that's on the cusp of maybe closing down. There was a big expose on the Bernalillo County Detention Center just, I think, last week. We're having a meeting tomorrow. The state has come up with ways to increase recruitment and retention. We've got some money to throw at it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good solution, because if we do a one-time thing and then we're required to provide monies that we don't have ongoing, that could be a problem. So we'll keep you guys posted on where that goes. Maybe they'll have some great answers. Maybe they won't. We'll see where that goes. Want to congratulate Brian Hotelin moving to flood control. Look really forward to him helping out Dick and getting things ready for a transition when Dick does retire. I want to say that previous superintendents, along with Dick, Tim, Morgan, all past commissioners have done a really good job of making sure our flood control and our flood awareness in Chaves County is high, and I think Brian's going to fit in real well with that. Thank you guys for all you do, and thank you for all the support you've given the county. Thank you, Cindy, for all the hard work that you do in your office, and your people certainly are top-notch, and appreciate them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Bill, thank you. Commissioner Taylor, any closing comments?
Well, Bill mentioned about the tour out of production, the marijuana, where they're growing the marijuana. Whether you agree with it or not, this place is a big economic factor in our community, and it is here to stay. And so it was an eye-opener, and I think it was something very well presented, and the tour was very beneficial to us, to all of us that went out there. The comments on the voting, I'm sure we're all going to take a look and consider your comments. And again, the only other thing I have to say, hey, the weather is maybe taking a positive change. The temperature is down. We got a chance for some good rain. And I'm sure our agriculture community will look favorable on that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Dana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I'd like to thank Diane, too. I haven't been able to get out there. That is in my district. I appreciate that. Impressed. I mean, as we're seeing, agriculture all across the nation is changing, and it's changing. You know, some feel for the better, some feel for not, but it is changing. So, and we have to move forward and change with it. Very impressed with what they did. I did ask the Great Houses if they would do a master gardening class for me, Drew, because I couldn't even grow my zucchini this year. And zucchini, everybody tells me, it's a weed, you can grow it. Mine didn't go. So I need a class. So hopefully somebody, thank you, Drew. You always put on the master gardening class. Stephanie and I need to get in there early to do that. And also pollinators. Ryan and I were talking about pollinators. We learned a lot this year about pollinators. I'm a member of Daughters of the American Revolution, and our new regent this year is her project is pollinators. So I learned a lot about pollinators this year. So maybe next year my garden will do better. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan. It's nice to see you. I usually meet Ryan on a need to have beef basis. So again, here we go. Someone local, Pirtle Farms, and thank you very much, Ryan, for your beef using local. We talked about that too, so I really appreciate that. We do need to shop local, use local, and this is how we do it, by getting the information out. And with Mike talking about the EDC and the partnerships that we have, we train so many people up, our kids, my kids included. I've got one that stayed here and one that's in Phoenix. She keeps telling me, Mom, we want to move back, but we can't. There's no jobs here for them. So that's what we do. I've said this for many, many years. We have the WICHE program for veterinarians, but we don't have it for nurses and doctors and dentists and our healthcare workers. We train them up and they go someplace else. I hear it all the time with Eastern. My neighbor works for Eastern. They're getting in travel nurses. The travel nurses come in, they do their stint, and then they leave. They want to get the heck out of here, and it's a shame because we have such a great program. We have wonderful programs out at the college, but we just can't keep our kids here. So I'm glad that Mike is working with the college and with our businesses to keep our kids here once we do educate them. And I would like to reiterate too, thank you, Cindy, thank you to your staff. I know it's so hard to find poll workers and people that will get in there and do the job, and now all of a sudden, we have people saying, nope, I'm not going to do it because, frankly, they're afraid they're going to be harassed. And I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that. State what you're stating. Thank you very much for coming in here and stating what you state to us. But please don't harass her or her staff or the poll workers. I know a bunch of you did work a poll and you learned a lot. Thank you very much. I'm glad you learned a lot. You have to educate us, but we have to educate you too. And be educated. Yes, it is. It's a two-way street. And I thank you very much. Ryan, I'm really disappointed in you. I'm really disappointed in you. Your brother Cliff has to go to Santa Fe and work in that mess up there. He needs help. The only way he's going to get help is if we send more help up there to him. Candy needs help up there. I have worked that. I have been in Santa Fe when we had 28 representatives, and we had 30, and we had Gary Johnson on the 4th floor with his veto pen. And by God, it saved this state a lot. Susana Martinez with her veto pen saved this state $2 billion. And then all of a sudden we have this little girl come up here in this state, and she spent every penny of that $2 billion plus some. You should know better. You go back and you tell Cliff that you're not voting because you don't think there's voting integrity. There is right here. That's all we have right now. We don't have Santa Fe and we don't have the federal, but we have her. And she's the one that's going to make sure that every vote counts. And I don't want to hear, I won a race by 5 votes. I lost by 13. I did a hand count. I don't want to hear that. I do not want to hear that people, we have to make sure that we get out the vote. Otherwise, this state is gone after November when people do not vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Dana. Commissioner Zell.
As far as the voting integrity is concerned, unfortunately, it is up to the same Supreme Court that ordered Otero County to certify their election. Their job should have been to order the Secretary of State to follow the law. Mm-hmm. But as you have seen with our Supreme Court, they do not always order elected officials and or appointed officials to follow the law. We are slaves to the election code. The election code provides a process, and you saw it play out in Otero County. Did they technically have the right to refuse to certify? I think they did. Mm-hmm. Did they have the right to deny, to disobey the order of the Supreme Court? They did not. So there's your catch-22. It is clear, as one of you ladies pointed out, Bonnie, I think, that the Secretary of State is required, if machines are to be used, to certify them. And she refuses to do so. It is up to the Supreme Court to order her to do so, or the citizens of the state to vote her out or recall her. But yes, we share your concerns about election integrity. But Otero County proved what a county commission could do, which was nothing. So it is on our radar. It's certainly on mine. And we will continue to look at any alternative that's out there. Changing course, as abruptly as Drew did. Drew, do you think you can get some of the 4-H clubs to help you make weevil cages?
We might be able to, so we're waiting on a few materials to come in so that we can host these workshops. But I have called around, I do have a few materials that were donated by our Artesia Ag Science Center. So I'm going down the list as far as who signed up, showed up first, and getting them in. But yeah, hopefully I can get 4-H kids.
Good.
With them just starting back at the school, it's a little tough to get them fixated back on 4-H.
Understood. And also speaking of 4-H, we contributed $500 in the name of the county commission to the Chaves County sale. And so anybody that is willing to contribute to that, I will gladly accept your check or cash. Thank you, Commissioner Calvin. And other than that, just thank you all for your input. It did not fall on deaf ears. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Zell. Commissioner Bilberry.
Yes, I want to thank all of the group that's there and all the information that you provided for the commission. Yes, it's on my radar also. I've had a conversation with a couple of you in the past months, and I really appreciate your passion and what you're doing and agree with what you're talking about. It's just trying to get from point A to point B to figure out what we need to do, and I believe we're on the right track because we're all trying to work together and educate each other on this voter integrity. But thank you for being there today and speaking up and making it aware. And I learned a few things from you today that I didn't know. So once again, thank you to the staff and elected officials and all those that are working hard for Chaves County. And it is the greatest county in the state, and I do believe that Santa Fe knows that we are alive down here and we mean business. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Bilberry. And I would just echo all the comments that have been made from Bill and all the commissioners. You know, we are paying attention. We are listening. How we go about it is going to be the issue that we have to come to. As much as we appreciate Otero County and what they're doing, how we handle this will be the way we handle it. And if we follow in their footsteps, well, then that's what we'll do. But, you know, whether it's the machines or drop boxes or absentee ballots or any other voting mechanisms that have been put into place over the last 10 years, in particular in the 2020 election, and they used COVID well, they really did. But you know, the fact that you can register to vote the same day of an election or up to the same day of an election, I mean, it's become really evident of the route that's being taken to take advantage of our county clerks and take advantage of our citizens. And I wouldn't be as rough on Ryan as Commissioner Dana would be, but you know what? Not going and voting is not going to be the answer to this, even though you are questioning the integrity of it. And of course, I think we have one of the finest county clerks in this state, not let alone this country. And I spend time at our New Mexico County's Board of Directors meeting talking to our county clerks that are on that board. And they're all under this cloud, this pressure, and really where that lies is with the Secretary of State. And I think Commissioner Zell was absolutely correct that somehow the Supreme Court has to hold her accountable on this. And if she's not getting these machines certified as she should, then the Supreme Court should be held accountable into forcing her to do that, just like they forced Otero County into certifying the election there. And so there's ways that we have to go about this, and I appreciate all the comments that were made today. I constantly listen to, I pay attention to it, and to some degree, at times our elections are depressing to me but I'm still going to go out and vote. I'm going to still do my part. I'm going to still go out and work to get people to go to the polls and vote. But I think at this particular stage where we're at with all the comments that were made, you know, our county attorney, Stan Riggs, our county manager, Bill Williams, their phones are they'll answer calls and have conversations and discussions. I know as county commissioners, we're going to be listening to them and listening to our county clerk and others on how we should approach this, as this all-important election is coming up for us here in Chavez County and the state of New Mexico and for this country. And so God bless you guys, all the work that y'all have done on this deal. Greatly appreciated, and we are paying attention. I don't know how I can shift gears other than to say I hope we get a bunch of rain for our ag folks over the next couple of days and for the rest of the season for our farmers and ranchers and everybody. We've got a lot of fights on our hands, guys, and we're being just beat down in the legal and judicial system, our environmentalists, the Department of Interior. We've got it coming from all different directions, and believe me, we're working for you guys. We're working to protect our constituents, our citizens, our family, and we're not going to give up. We're not going to stop. We're not just going to stick our heads in the sand. We're going to do what we can do and do what's right. So with that being said, I really appreciate our commissioners. I appreciate you guys being here. Diane Taylor was recognized earlier as not just putting on things, but she does all the DWI stuff. Louis, Georgiana, I mean, finances. We don't have Lucia here, or not Lucia, but Annabelle. And she hasn't had her baby yet, but I think she's
darn close.
She's darn close, yeah. So we're going to be adding a new member to the Chavez County family, and everybody for all the hard work you all do and standing up for what's right. You all are all greatly appreciated. So with that, God bless Chavez County. God bless this country, and let's have a good rest of the month of August. Thank you.
You done, Jeff?